Am I making contact? Is there anybody out there? Hey, David. Patrick, welcome. Joe, can you guys hear me? Laura, can you hear me? Okay, let's see. Joseph says no. Well, okay, how about now? Lots of yups and a loud and clear from Allan. Thank goodness. Before we begin, let me tell you why I look flustered and I'm a few seconds late. Oh, actually, I'm a few seconds early. This afternoon, as has become my habit, I check the internet connection to see what kind of upload speed I've got, because if my upload speed is less than about 2 megabytes per second, which is a fifth of what it should be for streaming, I'm afraid that we're not going to be able to do the stream. So it was way less than that this afternoon. Terrible. It was really awful. So what I did was I decided I just wasn't going to do it. And I made the announcement on Patreon and I made the announcement over on Discord that I was cancelling because there was no upload speed. And then 45 minutes before this time, I went ahead and did one last speed check. I don't know why I did that. And it was 60 megabytes per second. So I scrambled and thought, just in case anybody shows up, I had better at least show up to explain. So that's what I'm doing here. And why I look flustered is because this was cancelled until a few minutes ago. I also made a video this afternoon explaining why I was cancelling tonight and next Tuesday. It's because my house is being sold to somebody, not me. So I need to move out of my house tomorrow or thereabouts. So in addition to that, with the internet and everything going on, I just thought it would be better if I took a week or two to do the move and then start over. So that is the plan. I am here tonight, but I wasn't supposed to be, and we'll have fun. We'll talk and answer some questions. I won't be here on Tuesday, the 4th, because I will be in the midst of trying to set up the new studio then. The good news is the new studio has AT&T fiber, which has 1 gigabyte up and down in parity. So if that's true and they're not just joking with me, then this will be the last angina producing live stream I'll do in a while, I hope. The second thing is this new studio I'll be in has concrete floors in every room. Solid concrete. Well, I mean, there's wood on top of the concrete, but they're solid concrete floors. So I'll be able to set up macro rigs in every corner of the space. So that's good news. Otherwise, it's been a stressful week. So welcome everybody who is here. Let me see. Allan, I already said hi to. David, Walter, glad you made it back. And Laura, I'm glad you guys don't read those posts I put out, because nobody would have showed up if you'd read them. Ken, pleasure to meet you. And Joe already said hi. Great. Okay, everybody's here and ready to. Alistair, welcome. Let me see. Who did I miss? I don't think I missed anybody. Where is Winthrop, David? Is that up north? Let me look at that on the map. Oh dear, when I do that I can't see anything else. That's not a good idea. Yeah, you're in the cold part of the country. Did you know that? Freezing up there. I do love having those maps to look places up so I know where you are all from. Okay, who's got a question for me? And it can be about anything, like the new studio or who helps me style my hair and beard. Art, welcome. Walter read my email but is an optimist. You must be, because you showed up, and I'm proud of that. Well done, thank you. Todd, cheers. So it's it's late at night in the UK, isn't it? We already decided that. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. Jeez. Do you want to see the Wii macro rig? No? Okay. Thumbs down from everybody. Let me show it to you anyway. This is a very dark looking picture, but there she is. Let me see if I can redirect some light. None of that's helping. Well, I don't know if you can see any of that. Well, it doesn't have a camera on it that would be right here, of course. But I finally got this finished up at the weekend and ready to go. It is, well, it's all explained in the video that's coming out probably late tonight or first thing tomorrow morning. It'll be the last video I put out from this studio before I move. But I spent the weekend doing this. It actually turned into a bigger project than I expected. But it is my standard 20 times magnification rig, and it uses a lot of the new adapters and tubes that Wii Macro now sells. I bought all this stuff myself and wanted to set it up the way I would normally shoot. This is exactly how I would shoot vertically, except of course vertical. I mean with the tubes. And the new stuff consists of a helicoid back here, which I used to fine-tune my distance. I ended up needing like 201 millimeters of extension. So I used 350 tubes and a 20, and then the adapter for the tube lens is a copy of the Thorlabs adapter for the ITL 200. It's really nice for a $20 adapter. And then I use my usual M42 to M26 step down rings as I normally would, and that's the rig. And with an APS-C camera, I get full coverage with no vignetting, and it's very nice. There is I've made a bunch of modifications to the way the device is normally set up, because of the fact that I talked about this last week, but because of the fact that I like to change out my my systems as a module rather than break them apart and try to put a new one together. I have the short focus version of this, as well as the finite objective version of this, all on their own tube sets. And if I want to change it, I just basically loosen up the quick release clamps on this top rail that I made, and then this will slide on and off perfectly nicely, which is great. So I can slide this off, put the next one on, no trouble. The other adaptation I made, and you can't see this because it's on this side, but you can see the back end of them. There's 3 more quick release clamps, and that is so that when I want to use a macro lens, for example, I can bring the whole thing back off, all the way off the base. As long as it's got 2 QR clamps on it holding it, I can have a camera back here, which is outside of your field of view there, and if I'm using a high-powered objective, I can get right up close to the subject. So it's just an added bit of flexibility without adding much height. I explain all this in the video, but I added an additional base to give me clearance to use these knobs, and this is a double layer of aluminum in 2 different thicknesses that I drilled and tapped to take the quick release clamps. I decided to go with 4 ring clamps just because this is such a long setup. It's 245 millimeters to the relay and then another 75 to the objective, and I just didn't want a lot of weight bearing down on the end of it. That specimen stand is all one piece. I don't know if you can see that, probably not, but it is all bolted together. It's a Newport single axis translation table. It's on the Wii Macro base, and then that XYZR platform from China, which is rubbish, but it does get me the perfect height. And there was a butterfly on there a while ago, and I think I knocked it off with my cable. It was actually a moth, not a butterfly. It was a beautiful moth, a sunset moth. Okay, so are we enjoying the Wii Macro, Alan asks, and I'm going to tell you guys the truth, though in the videos I might not make a big point of this, but I can't get it to turn on. I can't get my phone to talk to it, or my computer, and I have pretty much tried everything I can think of. I'm going to start again, but I spent half a day doing it yesterday, and yeah, it's a bit frustrating. I've got to call in to the tech guys at Wii Macro to find out what I'm doing wrong, but for some reason my phone doesn't appear to want to pair with it. Does anybody out there drive one of these Wii Macros? Had any trouble with pairing? Walter, I have tried the Meops. I also tried their water drop thing, come to think of it, or one of their triggers. But yeah, I didn't much like the slider, but I used some of the ideas from it to build one of my own. I'm going back up just a little bit to make sure I didn't miss any questions. All right. So how am I enjoying the Wii Macro? I've actually thoroughly enjoyed setting it up and coming up with the I should have done the transition. I forgot to do that. I've had a great time setting this up and getting it operating mechanically speaking, and getting everything set up the way I want it. This is a lovely stable platform to use. The lighting pylons work great. You'll see in the video, but this is made from a hand towel rail. Again, I need to get. I am getting a switching device so that I can have multiple cameras and actually press a button and have the right camera come on. To change cameras to talk to you, I have to find the right thing on the computer, and it's just a bit much for me. So I'm going to get one of these switching devices so that we can be a bit more professional about this. But the pylon things that I was talking about are these posts here. There's 2 of them, 1 on either side, and it's just a hand pan towel thing that I sawed in half and then put threads on both ends of it and screw them into these little brass nipples. And the result is perfectly vertical bars that hold the lights without shaking. So it works great. from a mechanical standpoint. As soon as I can get some electricity flowing through it, we'll try it from the other. Hey, G. Russell from upstate South Carolina. Greenville, is it? Or Traveler's Rest? I think we've had that conversation before. Let me see. This is the, who is Macro Everything Around Me, I wonder? Do I know you? That name doesn't sound familiar. That's the problem with these internet names, is I know the person, but I don't know it's them when I'm talking to them. One of these days, I'm going to say something to somebody and I'll be talking to the person about that. I'll be telling him or her. Anyway, for those of you who weren't here at the beginning, we won't be meeting next week. There will be no live stream on Tuesday, October the 4th. I'll be moving. How do you set up the microscope for clear, crisp photos? Depends. Which microscope are you talking about, Art? The horizontal infinity corrected microscope that I'm showing you here, or my stereo microscope, or a compound microscope. I mean, there are tricks to using all of them, but it basically comes down to the same things that are going to give you crisp photos in photography. Having good contrast and good lighting, and using the right settings, and eliminating motion from your system, vibration primarily. Taking pictures through a microscope is a slightly trickier subject for me, because I mean, it's never been the way I look at it is, when you put a camera on a microscope like I have on my Leica microscope, it's not primarily, the Leica is not a tool for the camera. It's not a photographic rig. It's a microscope that has a camera for me to document findings on, or record video on. And that is a subtle but real difference, because when your primary concern is not image quality, but the quality of the image through the microscope, you have different priorities for lighting. Vibration is not nearly as important, because our brain can compensate for that, and we can see very clearly even in the face of a lot of vibration. So yeah, as a photography system, I have never used, and don't think I ever would try to use, a stereo microscope as a photography tool. And it comes down to definitions. I mean, if you take a system like this that I built here, which has basically everything that a microscope has except an eyepiece, and then you put it vertically on a microscope block so that you can use the coarse and fine adjustments to focus, that is a microscope. So the definition becomes a little blurred. Anyhow. Well, I hope your emergency's okay, Joe. We'll check in with you later. Allan, you use one, but use a laptop. For what? I'm missing something. You use a... never used a phone. Direct with cable. Somebody must ask you a question that I'm missing, because that's like a Jeopardy question that I can't answer. You use one, but use a laptop. No. The hardest part of building a slider, in my opinion, it's not the mechanical part. I mean, most people buy a manual slider and then put a timing belt and a pulley and a harness for the motor, and then they put a stepper motor on it. Some intrepid souls will even use a DC motor with some kind of an optical feedback mechanism, like an optical encoder or a hall sensor encoder, and do it magnetically. And you can really control a regular DC motor very well, and they'll use gears to slow it down and increase the torque so they can move a big camera. It's easier to just use a stepper, but in my opinion, the hardest part is writing the code for the stepper drivers, so that you can move the camera in basically 3 axes. You want to be able to pan and tilt and, of course, move the camera forward and backwards. So you have three motors that you're running, usually off one device like an Arduino Uno or a Mega, and 3 separate drivers. And the problem is, the way these microcontrollers are constructed, the programs each interfere with one another. They can only do one operation at a time unless you give them interrupt capabilities. And the point is that you've got 3 different motors fighting for your attention to move the camera in one way or the other, and the result can be pretty choppy movement, and that's just not acceptable in a slider because your camera's on it and you don't want that to be shaking. So it comes down to having to get a more expensive controller that runs the motor separately and everything, and I've just never got one that I like. I'm working on one now that I think will be better, but I know more about the coding now. So, well, I'm glad Mr. Macro Everything Around Me. I do like the name. That's pretty much my philosophy too. But I'm glad you've been following the channel and getting the bell. That's good. We do a lot of macro on this channel. I make a lot of videos. We do a lot of live stream stuff. We've been doing a lot of interviews, at least a monthly interview for several months now, and that's getting to be a more and more popular feature. We've got some great people coming up, so that's definitely a lot of fun. And yeah, and we talk a lot about the parts of macro that you don't often see talked about on the YouTube thing. Pretty much we'll talk about anything you want, but I like talking about the high-powered macro and the smaller subjects. It's a lot of fun. I was working on a course earlier in the year, but I got so busy with this that the course has kind of languished a little bit. Never good. Yeah, you use what to view chondrules? The microscope? I guess that would be it. Yeah. Oh, a stereo microscope. What is a chondrule exactly? Do I have to look that up? I will definitely use this word in conversation at least twice tomorrow. It's ancient Greek for chondros, or grain. It's a round grain found in a chondrite. Of course it is. Molten, partially molten droplets in space before being accreted in asteroids. Who didn't know that? Honestly, hands up. I know you all did. All right. Oh, Allan, you run the Wii macro with your laptop. That's what you were saying. Now it makes perfect sense. How? How do you do that? I plugged it in and it doesn't recognize it. You know that driver they say, do not download this driver at any cost? If I had downloaded that, would that cause it? Probably. Well, I've downloaded the Wii Macro app, but my laptop wouldn't let me install it because of some security issue. I've been going round and round with this half a day yesterday. I'll try it again. Alan, I may get in touch with you about whatever the secret is to doing this right. I don't suppose the silver controller box has to be mounted in any particular way, does it? Because I have it on its edge. Would that cause it to not function? I don't think so. I'm getting texts. But during a live stream, I only take emergency texts from one of my official listeners who watches the thing and says when my buffering starts to go haywire. But he's off doing something else tonight, so there you go. Probably rather look at that, would you not? I took the speed lights off so that you could see the thing a little more clearly, but yeah, I light this with just 3 MF12s. Does anybody who has the Wii Macro, this is one of the things I was hoping to answer this weekend. If you use your phone and you set it up to do a stack, do you have to leave your phone sitting there next to it? What if you need to leave the room or something? I wonder how that works. And second, what happens if you get a phone call? Because my phone goes off constantly. Does it prevent the stack from being done, I wonder? Yeah, these are questions that I have on my list of things to find out for the review. I've got lots of information about pretty much all of their accessories ready to go for the review, because I've tested every one of them and put them through quite some punishment. But yeah, I really want to know about this this controller and why mine doesn't seem to work. We are dipping into low numbers of kilobytes, guys. This is about the time during a live stream, if the internet connection is really bad, that my buffer fills. And all of a sudden, all right, guys, I have a well, I think Mediacom strikes again. What can I say? You know, it's just occurred to me. I don't know if you're even hearing any of this, guys, but if this continues, if I freeze up more than a couple more times, I'm going to call it quits and see you guys when I have real internet. I have just realized why I haven't been following the conversations very clearly. Is my chat windows are different. There are some chats that are not showing up on one computer and they are showing up on the other. So Alan, sorry for me butting in when somebody else was talking to you. Yeah, my internet upload is just completely going to the dogs. Yeah, great. Well, let me see if I can answer some questions before the inevitable early demise of this. live stream. I am so fed up with this company. All right. Connor Dunaway, when you have a reflective surface, what's the best way to decrease reflection even if you're already using a softbox? Put it in a teepee or a cone of white paper. I use those dog the things you put on your dog to prevent it from licking its whatever it licks when the thing's off. And if you take this and you line it with white paper, put it over your reflective subject and just shoot through the hole in the top, or cut a hole in the side and shoot, you'll get rid of most of your reflections. And in macro it's easy because your subjects are small. You can make a smaller pyramid. What you want to do is you want every surface to be reflecting the same white diffusion layer. If everything on your silvery surface is reflecting the same thing, it doesn't look like it's reflecting anything. So that's what I do, is I make a cone that inverts over the subject, and then light through it because it'll be made of diffusion material, and then shoot through one small hole, as small a hole as you can make. The hole needs to be about the size of the entrance pupil of the lens you're using. You have a CNC machine that works with step motors operated by simple software with G-code, right? But yeah, the servos are great, but the kind of servos you're talking about, Mr. Blue Line, are they're expensive. The closed loop servos, I looked at that, and even closed loop steppers are expensive if you get them made commercially. Yeah, yes, Robert. About a mile from here, I'll be moving very close by. Yeah, well, your 14-year-old MSI is probably about the same as the 14-year-old MacBook I'm going to be using with this when I get it going. If I get it going. I thanks, guys. I know I'm buffering, and I have a feeling that you're going to lose me here soon. We're losing up to 15% of frames right now, so okay. Yeah, putting my phone in airplane mode. I can't because I've got too many things related to this that I have to have people need to get in touch with me about, even during this. In fact, I've got people who monitor the live stream to tell me when it's going wonky, and that's what those emails were. But anyway, an NBC 10. Who's this? You've got that Russian stereo binocular scope. That is something. I've seen one of those. Looks like a tank. Yeah. Okay. I'm getting a buffering warning, guys, that is bad. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm not going to put you guys through any more of this because I can see how it's buffering now. I am going to continue to record right now. I'm going to end the live stream, and I'm going to answer your questions. So if you have a question for me, any question at all, get it in there now, right now, and before we get cut off, and I will answer it. And then when this gets well, actually, this won't get put up if I'm buffering all the way through. I won't put it up. I'll just make a short video answering all of your questions, including the ones I've already answered, and I'll put it up as a video tonight, if I can, if I possibly can tonight. Hey Robbie, I'm glad you made it. You made it just in time to see me apologize and shut it down because of the crappy internet connection I have. Hey Luke, I'm glad you made it. You can't stay, I can't stay either because I'm buffering again. So yeah, well, it seems to have stopped for a while. Yeah, if it starts again though, this is just too stressful. But let me see if I can answer some more of these questions. Sound is clear, video is glitchy. Okay, well that's better than nothing. That sounds like a fantastic microscope art. I would love to see a picture of it. If you could send me a picture of your microscope, I will put it on the website or share it in a video so others can see it too. That is quite a setup you have there. Okay, Allan also is hearing me just fine, so I should stop swearing probably. All right. All right, I'm going to make a quick on-the-fly change to the bit rate. Let me see if that helps. All right, guys, just chat amongst yourselves for a second. I may be able to improve this. I didn't think so. All right, I've lowered my bit rate even further. I think it might be enough to stream off, but it's we'll just have to see. No, apparently not. Looks like I'm freezing again. Okay. Yes, Allan, I saw Carl Taylor's video. It was interesting. He's an interesting guy. I like him, but I don't know about that thing. Seems a bit gadgety to me, but yeah, I'd have to give it a try. All right. Oh yeah, you were talking about the we were talking about the diffusion cone for reflective surfaces. I actually did a video on that for some jewelry, but it was really only reflecting back at the camera, so I was able to do it just with a big sheet of foam core, white foam core with a hole cut in it. My bit rate just dropped to 0. You know what? This company has got a nerve sending me bills for this internet. Shocking. Okay, how do you get dust off your lens? You've been having problems with black dots on your images but haven't been able to get them off with a fiber cloth. Are you sure that the black dots are on your lens? Black dust on your lens is very typically not going to put spots on your pictures, because what's on your lens is nowhere near in focus. If you're having spots on your pictures, you probably have dust on your sensor, and that's probably what you need to address. And I would not clean that with a microfiber cloth. You need to use a sensor cleaner. Really, you know, one of my favorite lenses, the EL Nikkor 50 millimeter f2.8, is an enlarger lens, and my copy has a big deep scratch across the front element, and that doesn't show up on the sensor. In fact, oftentimes the only reason you ever see a scratch is because of the way it interferes with the light. But um, the fact that there's a few granules of dust on there is not going to make a difference. Even dust in the lens isn't going to show up on the sensor most of the time. So yeah, if I were you, I'd look into getting a sensor cleaner and watch a few videos before you do it. You can damage a sensor quite easily. Alrighty. Oh, David just had the same thought. Okay. Thanks, Luke. Yeah, we had a hard time getting things. Well, still having a hard time keeping the stream going, but definitely wanted to give it a try tonight. There's nothing worse than telling people that you're going to be doing something and asking them to come along and support you, and then not doing it. I mean, even if you can't, you can't. But I mean, this was driving me crazy this last few weeks. But anyway, I'm glad we did get together. All right. Oh, thanks, Walter. Yeah, the move. Yeah, I'd thankfully forgotten about that for a couple of moments, but it's going to be quite a move. Laura's seen my studio, so she knows how challenging it's going to be moving this. Like every space is filled with something heavy. So yeah, and I'm not going to let anybody touch any of it. So the movers are going to have a hard time with this. Yeah, so you guys were talking about, yeah, Robbie. Somebody was asking earlier on. It was gosh, who was it? Was it Art? Was it? I think was asking about reflective surfaces, and I was suggesting using that dog cone thing because I use an actual dog cone for that. And then somebody mentioned that what's his name had put out a video using it, and yeah, it's the same thing, and it works. It works. Any cone of white paper will work too. It's an old trick that. The dust you mentioned was black. Yeah, that's David talking to Eli. But yeah, if the dust is in sharp focus, it's probably sitting right on the sensor, or it's floating in space at the focal point of the lens. Ooh, that's a good idea. The Ikea Melody, is it, or Melody? I'd not thought about that. Do you use that, Robbie? I haven't actually seen that cone of. I remember now. I was listening to my phone started playing it automatically for some reason, and he was describing it, and I didn't actually look up and look at it, but it sounded like the dog collar thing. But yeah, that would be interesting. I'll look that up. Yeah, the stream is temporarily back up to 23:35. So if any of you guys do any streaming or are thinking about doing it at some point in the future, whatever your speed test reads as upload is going to be an order of magnitude faster than your actual streaming upload speed will be, because when your internet service provider says you've got 10 megabytes per second, what they're measuring is the peak speed right when they ping your line, and it will be about 10 times faster than the highest sustained speed that you can have over a period of time. And that's a problem. If if your minimum speed for 1080p streaming is about 11 megabytes per second, you need to be thinking, well, that's actually going to correspond to 110 kilobytes per second. No, 1.1 megabytes is the actual speed. The thing is, when mine was reading low, my actual speed is reading ridiculous, like 200 kilobytes. Anyway, you don't want to do this anyway. Oh, dearie me. Let's give my face a break and look at the rig for a minute. For those of you who have come since we got started, this is the Wii Macro test rig that I put together at the weekend. It's a brand new platform and base and specimen side and everything to do the Wii Macro testing on. Just as soon as I can get the Wii Macro to turn on. I am having a hard time with the syncing with my phone or computer, so that's a problem. But otherwise, it's a very slick, very nice looking setup, and I'll be interested to see how this lead screw works out. It's a lot smaller, but it's also a lot finer threaded than the Stack Shot. I'm not sure it'll make much difference. I wonder if it makes it noisier. We'll have to see. It's interesting that they use a padded, a rubberized connector between the lead screw and the shaft of the stepper motor. That adds a fair amount of play. I mean, it's elastic play, but yeah, I don't know if it'll make any difference. Do you know that the extension tubes that Wii Macro sells now are pre-flocked? They are lined with flocking material. Not completely. There are parts of them where you need to add a little bit. But Robbie, something that I have not shown you before. Well, I can't now because I've lost it. Oh, it's the new flocking stuff that I tried out and I really love. Oh, there it is. This stuff. It's Yandude. This is the blackest flocking material that I have come across yet, and it doesn't shed, and it's very fine nap, very fine. It's not like a lot of the cheap felty things that you can get at the hobby shops. This is actually very good. I've pretty much flocked everything with it. Let me see. Yeah, the other thing you can do, David and Eli, is move the camera around like that. If you move the camera around, everything that's not on the sensor won't show up because you're moving. But the things on the sensor will, because they're stationary or they're moving with your camera. I have to look up what that Ikea, that's a lampshade, right? I think that is. Let me look it up. We're talking about the Ikea Melody. I can see I am buffering again. I used to use those Ikea what are they called? The little bendy lamps. Oh, that is perfect. Yes. Oh, it looks like everybody uses them for photography. Nobody uses them as lamps. That is really nice. 38 centimeter Ikea Melody pendant lamp. £13. That's a deal. I'm going to buy one of those. I take it it is plastic, right? It must be. Yep. Look it up, guys. Ikea Melody. I'll put a link in the uh, video description, and you can check this out. It's quite impressive. Oh, I do like learning something. A Savoni stereo zoom trinocular microscope. Oh gosh, no. If you're asking me, Robbie, I don't. I'm actually having a hard time keeping parfocality on my Leica. It's great until I crank up the magnification to max, and then I lose it. I don't know what it is. Presumably, it's just old gears, and they're just a little worn. I don't know. I honestly do not know how I would go about. Some of the. Oh, do you mean parfocality with the optics of the camera, with the camera tube? If you're talking about that I fixed on mine actually with a spacer, because when I was using the mirrorless camera on the microscope, I thought you meant parfocality as you change magnifications. But if what you're talking about is the camera, I found that the camera, I couldn't figure out why I couldn't take pictures that were sharp when I was getting a good sharp image in my eye, and it turns out that the camera tube was just about 3 millimeters too short, and I just put spacers that I got out of an old lens, slid them down over the adapter until, lo and behold, at about 2.5 millimeters, I got parfocal again, and it stayed there since. I wish I could figure out why it won't do that at high magnification, but okay, I'm getting buffering again. Oh, Federico, that is a brilliant idea. To get the depth, adding a strip of black electrical tape to the dog cone. I've heard that before, but yeah. I wish I had a better answer for you other than that. The problem is, of course, Robbie, that if it won't hold parfocality because the sensor is too far away, there's nothing you can do about it. You'll need a lens correction. That's why I can't use my DSLR on any of the microscopes, is because the DSLR, the sensor is the sensor is, you can't shorten the distance to the between the sensor and the objective, so you need a lens to do that. But with the mirrorless, it's usually just a matter of budging it a millimeter or two. Worked for me anyway. I actually got a surgical head for my Leica microscope that is a 50-50 beam splitter, so that I can keep both eyes, have binocular vision when I'm doing demonstrations or whatever. The problem is nobody could find a tube that goes on the adapter so that you've got the length to the camera. So I built one, and it works, but it's made out of PVC, and I'm afraid to leave it on the microscope in case it breaks something. But I'm still looking for one. All right. I love those small rig video lights, Allan. And there's another light that I like. Oh, this might be small. Is this small rig? Yeah. Is that the one you use, Allan? These things are the best. It is so bright. See? Stare at that. Oh, I should have used this for the to show you the rig. This is a wonderful light. Let me pump. Oh, it's already on 100%. I don't know why that's looking so dark. Probably because I painted it matte black so that it wouldn't reflect light. It's working for that. Yeah. Anyway, these small rig lights, HSI, and get colored light. I like it. Alrighty, let me see, what time is it? Answer these questions. Yeah, those Godox MF12s, best macro flash ever invented, but boy, they have their weakness. I mean, they're not going to last. That's the problem. I'm down to 2 as well. I had a whole stable of them at Christmas time, but one of them that the footling light to change intensity, and in the process my flash started working again, but it makes a loud popping noise when it flashes. It does not sound right. So that's interesting. Makes me think it's the it might not be the flash tube after all. But I need to find out where to get the batteries so that I can replace the batteries when they run down. They're not hard to replace. The flash tube is, though. They're very small. Oh, by the way, last week we were talking about Decon 90, and I was recommending it, or somebody was recommending it, and after the program I went on the internet and tried to find it, and the stuff is suddenly ridiculously expensive at every lab supply place in the country that I could find. Hundreds of dollars. So I thought, I'm out. I'm completely out. And what I was going to suggest was, if anybody's interested in splitting up a bottle, maybe 4 ways or 6 ways or whatever, you don't need much. It lasts forever. You only use it occasionally on really ugly looking eyes, and yeah, it's you use a Q-tip full of it in my inbox, a third of a bottle or a sixth of a bottle or whatever, and not have to spend $200. Just a thought. Just a thought. It's a 1/2 inch, so it's not a C. What size is that? Well, if you let me know, because I have a box of lenses and lens parts that is full of brass spacers that are very thin. Just if you just text, leave a message in. There was something trying to fly through my window. If you just leave a chat message for me with the dimension, the size of the adapter, I'll look for it, and I'll get in touch if I can find it. I've still got your email address somewhere. All right. David, yeah, I don't blame you. It's now's a good time